Hey there, greetings. Today, I want to take a little bit of a zoom out, a bigger picture look, and specifically at the planet Neptune, one of our outer planets that moves so very slowly and also gives us a sense that life unfolds in a big picture. It unfolds day to day, and that's what we tend to focus on. But we also have this bigger picture, and astrology reminds us of how the energies and qualities of things that are unfolding and developing in the world what that can look like over time. I'm Marina Orms here with your astro perspective for Sunday, March 2nd. So, looking at Neptune currently, Neptune is at 28 degrees and heading toward 29 degrees, and will be going into Aries on March 30th. So, this is a very significant outer planet shift of Neptune into Aries. And we think of the zodiac as beginning with Aries, right? Because Aries has this energy of springtime, it has the energy of birth and new life and the will to live, the drive to accomplish things, the emergence into a new way of being. And in the springtime, with new growth, new life happening, we see that emergence taking place in nature. And that energy, that quality shows up in us when we think about how we need to act in the world, where we need to find our courage, what it means to be alive, and how we affirm our life force energy by how we move in the world. So we have Neptune currently at the end of Pisces, and it's been in Pisces since 2011. So we've had this very nebulous energy of Neptune in its own sign. So Neptune is the god of the seas, right? And so in the sign of Pisces is, and Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. So that Pisces energy has to do with spirituality, with transcending the everyday, the ordinary, connecting with spirit, with a bigger picture of who we are beyond this day-to-day existence that we have, maybe even beyond our physical bodies, into the spiritual realm. So when you put that planet in the sign, in this sign of bigger picture transcendence, you have a dissolving, a real sense of how we are completing a cycle from the last time Neptune went into Aries, which is Neptune has 140-ish year cycle. So we've this has been a long time unfolding, and we are completing something. We are coming to a conclusion, but the energy of Neptune in Pisces is the energy of both connecting with a bigger picture of spiritual principles, of myth, of metaphor, of our capacity to dream the future. Think of that energy of Pisces as kind of like a bear in hibernation, right? It's completed its work of the season. It is letting go of its previous existence, the previous year, the previous season, and now laying there in slumber, dreaming the future. So that's what that Neptune in Pisces energy is like for us. And with Neptune being in Pisces, we've had all these themes of how we orient, where are our boundaries, where are our guideposts, what do we care about, is what we care about even working anymore, does it matter? So, and what is that, right? Clarifying who we are, what we think, what we care about, what matters to us. And we have had the dissolving of our narrative, the transformation of our understanding. And so themes of who's got a hold of the truth, who's got a hold of the narrative, who's telling the story, whose story is it? And we have this opportunity to really think about these questions. So once Neptune makes the shift into Aries, then we have that life force energy, that emergence energy, that need to move and act and find our courage and be spontaneous, be direct. So finding action, courage, warrior energy, life force energy, and the need to move on it, the need to do something about things. So we've been that bear in hibernation, letting go of the past and dreaming the future in a sense. And now, as Neptune shifts into Aries, our spiritual sense of purpose, our connection to bigger picture principles, mythology, narratives, story, what it is we care about, what matters to us, that sense of who we are. So, identity. And with Neptune going into Aries, that identity becomes a thing that needs to move in the world. So it's the bear coming out of hibernation saying, here I am. Okay, I better go, act on what I need to do, right? Take care of things, find food, whatever bears do in the springtime. So, and it's the same energy as sprouts coming up out of the ground. It is that energy of green. It is that energy of emergence, of new life, of new sense of self-discovery. And that can happen in the collective, for communities, for nations, right? In the bigger populations, we can also step into that new sense of identity with this Neptune entering Aries energy and quality. So there will be movement, action, perhaps conflict, right? Aries is the sign of the warrior. So we are in this bigger picture struggle, in a sense, of who gets to decide who we are? How do I participate in what I care about? How do I make meaning for myself? And how do I live that meaning through how I see myself and my role in the world? So kind of some big picture questions, but also keep in mind that this is a very long process, right? 2011 is when Neptune went into Pisces. 2025 is when it first goes into Aries. So we have years, we have many years to work through this. And the same with Pluto in Aquarius. We have Pluto now in Aquarius and will be there until 2043. So these are big picture energies that take a long time to really unfold, right? And move through and work through and complete. And as we come to the end of Neptune in Pisces, we're also completing some themes of maybe where we've gotten lost, maybe where we've lost our sense of who we are, where we belong, what we can imagine for the future. And so recognizing that this is kind of the last chance in these final weeks of Neptune in Pisces to really connect with what matters to us, what's important, and why. And maybe considering, I think all of us could benefit from some reflection on, have I gotten off my path? Have I been distracted? Have I gotten involved or let myself go down a rabbit hole of some narrative that maybe wasn't either true or right or healthy or whatever? So it's a time to ask these questions. It's a time to go, what is your imagination? What is your dream? What is your vision for the future? And then imagining what that could look like, because that is the fuel that is going to fuel the Aries energy, or the dream that will fuel the Aries action. So you see how you need to know what matters to you in the bigger picture, so that when you have that Aries impulse to do something, you know what you're doing and why and what it's for. And it's really important to be clear about what matters to you. So that's part of what we're doing here in these last few weeks of Neptune in Pisces. And I want to speak also to this idea of, we get so caught up in the drama du jour, right? Whatever is happening, whatever we're afraid of, whatever we're outraged about, whatever we're excited about, right? We get sort of caught up in the drama of the moment. And these outer planets remind us that there is a bigger picture, that to kind of keep your eyes on the prize of the bigger picture, right? And think about the long-term place you're going and to remember that the moment to moment, the day to day, if you're in a big struggle or conflict like in a war, how you have battles, and then each battle, you may win or lose the battle, but you keep going, you adjust, you readjust, you strategize, you shift gears, you do what you need to do, and you keep going. And these outer planets remind us that there is a bigger purpose and reason to keep going, because that outcome is not written, and you actually learn a lot. As you learn as much through defeat or loss or whatever, failure, whatever you want to think about, you learn as much through those experiences as you do through your successes. So keep in mind there is a bigger picture. Keep in mind that you learn as you go. And I'm thinking of a time when I had a big project to do that took years and years, so much that I didn't even, wasn't even something I could really be sure that the outcome would happen, or whether it even mattered, right? And I just remember at different points during this project, things being really hard and stressful, and moments of going through really grueling points, and not having that perspective that what I was doing and I was learning from. But then at the, after years of doing that, I could look back and see, oh, each one of those points that felt so hard and so stressful, and I, was all caught up in the drama of the moment. But looking back on it now, each time that happened, I learned, I reoriented, I strategized, I figured out who my allies were, and I kept going. And I didn't even know whether I would, achieve what I was trying to achieve or not. But then one day you look back and you go, whoa, I actually have gained all of this wisdom, skill, experience, and I've created this, amazing thing that I couldn't really have even wrapped my head around when I started. So just maybe think about a time in your life when you've done something that was hard, that took time, that you couldn't see at the beginning or in the middle, or during a stressful moment, you couldn't see that bigger picture of what you're working on, what you're creating, and how that is happening, even though it might feel painful in the moment. So think about that, because these outer planets really do remind us of our power in this way. And, a thing occurred to me recently, which is that we love flowers. Flowers are beautiful, right? But blossom and flower is a verb too, right? It's a beautiful thing, but it's also a verb. And so to blossom We have to be active. We have to believe. We have to have support, nourishment, nutrients. We also have to allow the process to unfold, right? I think, I mean, I don't know, but maybe a flower can't imagine what it's going to be like to fully flower, but that's kind of what it feels like. It's like you can't really imagine the truth and the beauty of what you might be creating, but all you can do is keep going and do the things that you feel like you need to do in the moment and to respond. And that again, I'm going to bring it back again once more to self-care, because when you give yourself the support, the nourishment, the rest, the ability to have creative time, all the things that take care of you in the day-to-day, that is how you support yourself in blossoming, in achieving something that has meaning, that has value, that you've invested in, maybe monetarily, but there's lots of ways to invest in something. You can invest your time, your creative energy, your caring, your presence. You can invest in relationships and they have value. You can invest in your garden and it has value, right? There's lots of ways to invest your time, your skills, your wisdom, your interests. So as you give yourself that self-care in the moment and gift yourself that, it helps you to invest what it is you have day to day to further that project that maybe you're working towards something that you can't even imagine yet. And so the words imagine and dream have come up today, and let's think about that with these final weeks of Neptune in Pisces, with our capacity to imagine and to dream the future and to allow ourselves to readjust, to reorient, to say, well, okay, this is the future I imagine, this is my dream. Should I be doing this differently? What am I learning? Where are my allies? Where's my community? Where's my self-care? Where's my support? How can I invest my time, my energy, my creative resources into this dream? And as we do this work throughout the month of March, we can see how that turns out as we shift into Neptune in Aries, when we move into the need to act, the impulse to act, the drive to do something. And I think we're going to see more emergence of creative energy, creative solutions, actions, actions that help to create the future in whatever ways that may look. And just think about how you want to participate in that. And from that place of this bigger dream, this bigger picture of what you can imagine, what matters to you, what speaks to you spiritually, what mythology helps guide you, is there a story that speaks to you, some music, maybe something that helps inspire you and remind you that there is a bigger picture, there is a bigger process unfolding. You can't always see it in the moment, you can't always see it in the day-to-day drama, but when you keep going and putting one foot in front of the other, you don't know where you're going to end up, right? You don't know what you are capable of creating until you go there and find out. So those are my thoughts for today. Thank you so much for being here. And your support really helps keep me going in this work. So I so appreciate your likes, your shares, subscribing to this YouTube channel, buying my meditations, booking a reading for yourself. It's a gift for you, and it can really support my work. So Think about what would be supportive to you on a personal level, and I would love to work with you one-on-one to look at your chart and see how these energies are showing up in your life. It is so powerful and empowering to see how you can understand these energies and apply them to the actual things that are showing up for you in your life. Thanks again for being here. And my website is astrologyheals.com. Check it out. Thanks again for being here and sharing with a friend. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.